This next video will be a very brief way that you could start to introduce yourself. Now, the thing to know is that there are going to be many different ways to say some of these things. So this is just one way that you could say it. So it's definitely not the only way. There's going to be multiple ways of saying this. But this could be one way. Inknash Inknashwaniksha. I am called, or my name is, and then you fill in your name. Inknashwaniksha Tualatin. So my name is Tualatin. Inknashwaniksha Tualatin. If you have an Indian name. If you introduce yourself with your Indian name, then you could say in English Ku Shiaputumtki, and in English, or Ku Pushjantumtki, Ku Shiaputumtki, and in English Gregory Sutterlick. So Inknashwaniksha Tualatin, Ku Shiaputumtki, Gregory Sutterlick. My name is Tualatin, and my name is Tualatin, and in English my name is Gregory Sutterlick. So that's one way of introducing yourself. You may have heard Wanikshash Tualatin, which is, this way is a little more formal, Inknashwaniksha Tualatin, or it could be Wanikshash Tualatin. Now you could say Washnash Washnash Yakima Kanik. I am from Yakima. So that is my tribe, but for myself, I am also Chehalis, so I'd say Ku Chehalis Kanik. Washnash Yakima Kanik, Ku Chehalis Kanik. I am from Yakima and from Chehalis. So those are my two tribes. So if you have more than one tribes, you could put in a Ku, which means and then you add another one. Chehalis Kanik, Ku Puyallup Kanik, Ku Muckleshoot Kanik. You just put the Kanik after your tribe to say from that tribe. So you can also say where you live. Nishike is to live. Nishike Shash, here's the I, live. I live in, Pa is in Wapato. I live in Wapato. So if you want to say that you live in Toppenish, so Nishike Shash Wapato Pa. I live in Wapato. If you live in Toppenish, you could say Nishike Shash Toppenish Pa. And then, just like with at, you could say Kutkutshash. I work Kutkutshash, tribe pa. I work at the tribe. Or you could put in wherever you work. Kutkutshash, casino pa. I work at the casino. Wherever you work, you put that here and you add the pa. Kutkutshash, tribe pa. And then another good thing, if you have kids, a lot of time you want to, when you introduce yourself, you want to mention that you have kids. So if you want to do that, you could say Washnosh. Again, we use Washnosh, which could mean I am or I have. Washnosh. Myself, I have Mutau. Washnosh Mutau Mianashma. I have 3 kids. Not Mutat, because Mutat is 3 if they're not people. Mutau is 3 if they're people. So you could, I would say Washnosh Mutau Mianashma. I have 3 children. If you only have 1, then you don't say the ma, because the ma makes it plural for children. This is child. So Washnosh Lachs Mianash. I have 1 child. And then of course if you have 2, the dual comes in. So if you want to say I have 2 children, Washnosh Napu Mianashin. Napu is 2 for people, and Mianashin, the IN is 2 children. So here is 1 child, Mianash, 2 children, Mianashin, 3 or more, Mianashma. So if you have 5, 6, 10, 12, you add that here, and then you use Mianashma. If you only have 1, Lachs, and you could say Inix, if you want to say I have 1 girl, or Lachs Aswan, if you want to say I have 1 boy, or Washnosh Napu Mianashin, I have 2 children. So that's a way of introducing yourself. Now, relationship terms, when it comes to relationship terms, that gets complicated, but for mom is Ishla, but if you want to say my mom, Na Ishlas. Na Ishlas Iwa, and then you say your mom's name. So for me, I would say Na Ishlas Iwa Elaine. Dad, for your father, that's Tuta. But if you're saying my father, then I would say Na Tutas Iwa. So my father passed away, so when somebody is deceased, you can put Atwai in front of there. My father, Natutas Iwa Atwai Benny Sutterlick Jr. So my father is the late Benny Sutterlick Jr. Natutas Iwa Atwai Benny Sutterlick Jr. So here's how to say my mom and my dad. Introduce your mom or your dad. So that's a real brief introduction, and like I said, there are multiple ways to say some of these things. Children usually like to say how old they are, so they can also say Wash, Nosh, maybe I am 5, Pachat, unwicked, is years. So wash nash pachat anwikt. So you fill in how many years you have. If it's 5 or 10 or whatever, you put that here. Wash nash pachat anwikt. I have 5 years. I am 5 years old. So if you're 10 years old, wash nash putumt anwikt. So that's a brief introduction on one way of saying one way of doing your introduction.